Thanks for joining us. My name is Billy Rabbitt, and today I'm joined with Chris Richards. Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, thanks for having me here, Billy. My name is Chris Richards. I'm the current president of St. Mary's County Youth Organization.
So, Chris, what is the St. Mary's County Youth Organization?
We are a nonprofit t-ball, softball, and baseball league serving the middle to northern end of St. Mary's County.
Okay. So, I'll be honest with you, Chris. Before, like a season ago, I didn't even know that you guys existed. So I know that, there's some other, organizations down here that do youth baseball and softball and things like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that the SMCYO even existed or whatever. Are you guys like a new organization, or what exactly, how did you guys end up, kind of becoming what you are?
We originally were only a t-ball league, which is how most people would have ever known us. And we branched out in 2020 to do both t-ball and baseball, and basically took over another organization in the northern end of the county and just merged them in with us to do the baseball and softball along with our t-ball program.
Okay, that's great. So you said predominantly, or you started off with t-ball. Now you've kind of grown it to, what kind of ages do you guys cover for youth baseball?
We take like 3.5-year-olds up until 12 currently.
Okay.
And hopefully in the next few years we're looking to expand into that 13 to 15-year-old league for the 90-foot fields.
Okay, well, that's great. So do you guys only do baseball, or do you guys also do softball?
This year we're introducing softball into the program and trying to really get the girls, especially the younger ones coming out of t-ball, a place to start before they think about traveling or moving on to a different age group or another sport. Just trying to keep the girls into the sport that I like.
Sure. No, I know. So last season, my girls participated with the machine pitch, and I was amazed to see, the girls sticking up there with the boys and giving the boys, kind of a run for their money or whatever. So I'm excited to see, kind of the kickstart off of this, softball league.
Yeah, me too. I mean, truthfully, honestly, the girls are at that age are just as talented and as capable as any boy is playing. That's why we allow them to play. We even have a few girls up in our minors division, which is age group 10 to 12. They're for the most part can hang with any boys.
Right, sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's cool. So you guys started, kind of got this league. I know it's grown rapidly. How many kids did you guys have last spring?
Last year we had roughly 500 kids.
Okay.
And hopefully this year we tack on a few more.
Well, that's good. And then you said, so predominantly most of the leagues or most of the fields that you guys play on are kind of like center of the county up to the northern end of St. Mary's?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, we pretty much stay Hollywood, Leonardtown Road.
Okay.
North of the county. So 7th District, Mechanicsville, Charlotte Hall.
Sure.
That type of area. And it was just to bridge that gap, like for the kids that are on that line that had to go play Hughesville I'm a St. Mary's County resident, so why do I got to play for a Charles County League? Sure. So it was formed just due to the district lines that Little League had drawn up.
Okay. So you guys were kind of filling a need there.
We're trying.
Fair enough. So with that being said, I mean, I know you said that you're growing, you're hoping to add some kind of another age group or another division eventually. Where do you see the league going, or where do you want the league to go?
I just want the league to keep growing, to give parents their voice. We pride ourselves on trying to keep you on teams with players that you've played with, or your friends or your buddies that you go to school with. It's a league that truly thinks of our parents as the voice of the league, and we're just the stewards.
Sure.
We're here for the kids to hopefully issue in the next generation of baseball and softball players in the county, and to keep it fun and fresh.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. I know it seems like, when I was growing up, and I'm sure you could probably say the same for you, but like I just remember going out and playing in the backyard or playing, sports with, kids and things like that. I don't necessarily see that as much, not saying it doesn't happen. Sometimes I'll drive by maybe like, Laurel Grove and see a bunch of kids playing basketball, playing a game of basketball, things like that. But I mean, I love the idea, and really love the calls that you guys are trying to fulfill or whatever, getting kids involved in sports, because I think personally it's so important for like their development and just allows them to really experience life, a whole nother thing outside of school, building friendships, building relationships, things like that.
Exactly. And I'll tap on that note. Most kids that get involved in youth sports tend to stay a little bit more out of trouble than kids that don't. The whole idle hands, devil's work kind of thing.
Sure.
It really is something to it. Plus, I just think they need to be doing something other than Fortnite 24/7.
Yeah, no, and it is. It's important. And not to get like so far off there, but youth sports are just so important for so many different things. Keeping kids healthy, keeping them active, keeping them, having social events with other, kids and things like that. But I know, last season, whenever I had the privilege of, coaching and being involved with the league, and I can say that a lot of the kids that came, to baseball that evening, that was like their highlight of the day. They really were excited. You know what I mean? And even like their parents would say, "Man, he had a rough day at school, or he got in trouble at school, but the kid was so engaged and ready to go," and things like that. And you could just say like, wow, that was really like a really important day. Or even just listening to the kids. Because the age group I was helping coach, was younger kids and things like that, but just having, just an opportunity for them to share about their day and what happened, I heard about so many different stories about so-and-so got in trouble at school or what they had for lunch or whatever it may be. So. You
will be surprised what you will hear as a coach. Some of it you might not want to hear, but it is definitely a heartwarming experience as a coach. People are always scared to do it, but I tell them there's at the end of the day you'll look back and it'll be some of your favorite memories of your life.
Sure,
is coaching.
Yeah, no, and I can even think back when I was younger. I can still remember many of my coaches that taught me in sports and things like that, and good or bad, right?
Yeah, I've been coaching in one form or another for 14 years. And I got some kids that are graduating, and they'll still come up, "Hey, Coach Chris,"
right?
And they're kids that I haven't seen in 10 years.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you will definitely make an impression on them.
Sure.
Throughout their life, especially at the ages we're talking about. Those littler ones, the 5 and 6 year olds and 7 and 8 year olds. You can change a child a lot more than what people think you can just as a youth sports coach.
Sure. No, I can appreciate that. So, with that being said, why did you get involved? I know you've been involved one way or the other. You said for 14 years you've been coaching, participating, giving back. But, why now kind of, jump into the role of, president of the league and things like that?
Being voluntold. Realistically, probably some of my best memories of my father was on a t-ball field.
Sure.
My father pretty much coached me all my life. Once I got done with baseball, at the high school levels, we went right to slow pitch softball, and I did that for years until I had kids. And I knew as soon as my kids were old enough, it was time to hang up my cleats and teach the next set of cleats.
Sure.
And I wasn't very lucky because my first 2 kids, one played soccer and now one's a musician, but hopefully the third one sticks. But there just was a need. The guy who was originally running our league, he did it for over 20 years. He was ready to retire. And with that, the past president stepped up, and he had to take on a role at his job. And I guess I was just next in line to
next man up
to take on the torch.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good. So I know you guys are a nonprofit organization based here in St. Mary's County, helping support the youth. I know that a lot of small businesses and things like that help with sponsorships and things like that, and that's really the fuel for your guys, for the league or whatnot. If a small business or somebody wanted to get involved, whether it was coaching, volunteering, or even a sponsorship or whatever, donation to league, how can they do that, or what's kind of the way of doing that?
The easiest way is to just contact us through our website at smcyo.com and just shoot me an email. Tell me that you're interested, who you are, that kind of stuff. And then we'll meet up one way or another, whether it be through email or text message or in person. And we'll discuss what fees for sponsorships are, stuff like that. As far as coaching, you can easily go onto the website and volunteer to coach. So you just register yourself. Or if you have a child and you're interested in coaching your child, same thing. Once you register your child, there will be a portion of, hey, would you like to volunteer to be a coach, head coach or assistant coach? You just click your button and fill out your information. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Sure. So if you do have a kid or a grandchild or somebody that wants to play youth baseball or softball here in St. Mary's County, they go to smcyo.com?
Yes, sir.
And then they register, and then what age groups or what different divisions do you have available?
Our youngest is our T-ball, and we take them at 3.5 up until 6. Then you jump into our machine pitch, which is 7 to 9, and then our minors, which is 10 to 12, and our girls softball this year will be 6 to 9. Now, we are a league that understands that each child progresses differently, and some children may need to be held down a year, or some children may need to move up a year. So there's no hard set boundary on it. If they're 9 years old, they can only play in this. If they're 9 years old and they're a stud, and you think they can handle the next age group up, then by all means, we'll move them up. Same thing with you. Every once in a while, you run across a child who may have a physical disability or a mental disability, and it's not really quite ready, or their age just isn't mentally there for them to go up to that next age group. So that child will hold down as long as the parents are okay with it, just so that they're enjoying the sport, because that's really what this is about, is for kids to enjoy the sport and have a little bit of competitiveness, not severely, but just but still to be fun.
Sure.
That's the whole point of youth sports, is to get them out there and have a good time.
I always thought that the most important thing was to make sure that they played the following year.
That's right.
And
if they're not having fun, they can't play the following year. I know a lot of kids that whether it be with our organization or any other organization or whatever sport, that had a bad coach or just didn't like the sport, the chances of retaining that child are slim to none.
Sure.
What I mean? Most of those kids, if you see them the following year, it's because their mother and father made them.
Right.
And you can tell.
Sure.
They're not enjoying it. So we try to make it feasible to where they're going to, and to the best of our ability, we want the child to enjoy it.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about who we are. It's about the kid playing the sport.
Sure. No, that's really cool. So, well, Chris, I definitely appreciate it. I'm very excited to see the league's growth and what they have to come. Thank you very much for coming in and talking to us today.
Billy, thank you very much for having me.
And please, if you have anybody that's interested in either participating, sponsoring, just getting involved, or any kids out there in St. Mary's County, please visit the website smcyo.com,
yes,
and you can register. And then we have a couple more weeks until registration ends.
Yes.
So can't wait to see what this league really joins into.
Yeah, and like I said, if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me. I'm open 24/7, really.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.